Hey guys, it's time for another episode of Damien Ruins Horror Movies. My name is Damien, and tonight we're doing Tales from the Crypt, Season 2, Episode 8, for crying out loud. And as usual, this episode is brought to you by Cool Dude Inc. Go down to the notes. Go make yourself look good. Let's cue the whiskey bets. In the opening, Marty Slash is being walked to the electric chair. Actually, it's more like he's running. He can't wait to get to the electric chair. It's like he's talking. It's like he's talking to somebody, but the person he's talking to isn't there. He even straps himself into the chair. Then we rewind 2 years earlier. He's at the ear doctor getting his ear looked at because he can hear like this slight annoying, like a muffled voice in his ear. And the doctor tells him it's just an aberration. You work in the rock and roll industry. You're around live music a lot. It's going to affect your hearing. You should be wearing earplugs at all times. He gives him some medicine and sends him on his way. Marty Slash is played by Kramer's bookie from Seinfeld. He's the one they call Jerry a phony. Next, we're at Marty Slash's club, where the legendary Iggy Pop is on stage, rocking out, playing the song Kill City. And this is back when Iggy was young. He's only like 40 in this episode. Like, Iggy's so old, he could have been the band in the original comic of this episode. I'm giving him shit. Iggy's one of my favorites. He's on my Mount Rushmore. It's Iggy, Henry Rollins, Nick Cave, Jeffrey Lee Pierce, and Mike Patton. Those are my 5 favorite singers. Not that you asked.
Shut the fuck up!
After the song, Iggy brings Marty on stage to present one of those big-ass publishers clearinghouse checks to the Amazon. It's for $1 million. Marty's club is strictly charity. They're benefit concerts. None of the money goes. Iggy's not making a dime off of this. And neither is the Amazon, because all of this money is actually going to Marty's little retirement fund. And after presenting the check, Marty scurries off to his office to get in his little safe where he's got all the money, the $1 million in cash, puts it in a suitcase because he's planning to make a break for it. But as he does it, the muffled sound in his ear starts getting clearer. And it's the voice of Sam Kinison. Sam is his conscience. And it's probably years and years of doing this plan and ripping people off. It's probably been eating away at him, and now it's come to fruition. Sam is telling him, put the money back. Among other things. Sam talks a lot. And if you're familiar with Sam Kinison, you know that he likes to yell a lot too. Imagine, I don't care what your feelings on Sam Kinison are, imagine him in your ear all day. But Marty feels like he's earned this money. He deserves this money. He's been every band's bitch since he opened the place, trying to get them, or the groupies hot enough, or the M&Ms the right color. This is Marty's big break. Even though, I mean, shit, it's 1990 and you get to listen to live music every night. What the fuck are you bitching about? And it's free. Pan back on stage, because Marty's office is like above, so it looks down on the stage. And back on stage, there's Iggy, being Iggy. I think he's about to take his pants off. And then in the front row, there's a girl who pulls her shirt up, and we get half boobage. Sorry, it's been a while. I miss Beth. Send me a message in the notes if you miss Beth too. We got to get some more boobage in these episodes. This is ridiculous. But for the rest of the episode, Iggy plays the song 5'1". That's what happens when you don't pay Iggy. You don't pay Iggy, you get 2 songs that night, and they will last an hour. There's a knock on the door. So he hides the suitcase. He opens it. It's Katie Seagal, Peg Bundy from Married with Children, all slutted out. The original cougar, the OG. She's hot. She gets hotter with age. Even still, she still is. And if there was ever a wasted opportunity at boobage, it's this. We don't get to see her. She sits down with him and starts kind of getting flirty, and he's starting to think, all right, I got time to make a little fuck before I leave. But then she kind of looks at him, and she takes off her wig, revealing her pulled back red hair, like a librarian kind of look, puts on glasses, and at this point, she's even hotter now. But it turns out he knows her. It's his personal banker. She's not here to fuck. She's here because she's been watching him, and she noticed he's made $1 million withdrawal from the Amazon account, and she wants to know what's up. There's absolutely no reason why he would do that. He gave them a check. That's taken care of. Busted her! But she doesn't want to turn him in. She doesn't give a shit about the fact that he's stealing his money. She wants half. And he's like, which $500,000 in 1990 is still a lot. But it would suck to have to just be, because he feels like he earned this money. He busted his ass. He put up with so much shit. But reluctantly, he agrees. So he shows her the money. And as she's counting it, he grabs his Pete Townsend guitar and fucking kills her. Then he forces her body into a Donny Osmond bass drum case. Which is kind of funny because at the beginning, when she first walks in, they make all these jokes about how tall she is. And wow, you look like you're from the Amazon and all this shit. Now he's stuffing her into a little bass drum case. It's like, there's no way in hell she would fit in there. There's another knock on the door. It's a cop and one of his bouncers. There's been noise complaints and he wants him to turn that shit down. Is that how it works? Where's this club that is having noise complaints at night? You just sit in a neighborhood? Then the cop notices the bass drum case and he reads Donny Osmond's name on it. He's a fan. It's like, so you like good music after all. And Marty's like, oh yeah, bouncer guy, can you get rid of this? This needs to go. Donnie forgot this. And the bouncer grabbed, like, it's heavy. And it takes effort for him to take it out of the room. Because, normally bass drums don't weigh over 100 pounds. And he doesn't even question it. He's just like, oh man, I'm a wimp. So Marty turns down the music and gets rid of the cop. But then Sam, in his ear, starts going crazy and yelling because Sam doesn't want to do this. He's like, you can still get out of this. You can still do the right thing. Even though it's like, it's theft. You killed somebody. I don't think you can turn back at this point, Sam. I think Marty's right. He's got to run. He's got to just disappear. But he can't handle Sam yelling in his ear over it. And he's just like, I got to make it stop. This is my imagination. This is just my mind playing tricks on me because I feel guilty. And so he starts pouring the medicine in his ears that the ear doctor gave him. He pours it in both, and he takes a Q-tip and puts more medicine because he got two kinds of medicine. And he starts putting the Q-tips in his ears. And this part's actually really gross. You can't, be that aggressive with your ears. That's what makes it kind of cringy, where you're just like, oh, dude, it's your ears. And Marty realizes, you know what? I'm probably feeling, I need to get the hell out of here. Like, being here, being so close to it, if I get out of it, once I'm on that plane, I'm going to be fine. This voice will be gone like that. So he tries to make a break for it. But Sam's in his ear, getting louder and louder, and everybody's looking at him weird. And he's like, what the fuck? It's like, Sam, shut up. And everybody's looking. He's like, can they hear Sam? Now he's like really just paranoid. He's like, everybody's looking at me. I can hear Sam. Maybe they can hear it. They look like they can hear Sam. If I turn the music back up, then they won't be able to hear him, and I can get the fuck out of here. So he turns the music up, not realizing the cop hasn't actually left yet. The cop just got out the door. He's about to get in his car, and he hears the music go up. He's like, oh, hell no. And he goes back in. And Marty's in by the stage, pounding his head against the wall. He wants the noise to stop. He's just like, oh, damn, Sam, just shut up. Stop. As the music stops, Sam yells really loud, I killed my banker. Marty's like, shit. And the music stops. And everybody's staring up at him like, what the fuck? And he's like, so he just confesses. He's like, oh, shit. It's like, yeah, I killed my banker. And I'm stealing his money. And he just gives himself up. He just tells the whole story, his whole intentions. Like, yeah, I was going to steal his money and get the fuck out of here. Plot twist, as he's confessing, he feels and notices there's a Q-tip sticking out of his ear. And there's blood. He's been bleeding the whole time. And then he hears Sam's voice say, oh, yeah, maybe they couldn't hear me. You think maybe that's what they were all looking at? Fast forward and we rewind to the beginning of this episode where he's on his way to the chair, and now we know why he's in such a hurry to die. It's the only way he can silence the voice in his head. And that wraps up that episode of Tales from the Crypt. If you like these episodes, watch along with me. You can watch them on YouTube. There's a link in the notes. And hit me up, like and subscribe. I'm doing these at least once a week. So turn on your notifications because I don't have a schedule. I'll see you guys next time.